Welcome back, everybody. It's your girl, Senpai. So, today I decided to go with a container house build. I saw this house on Pinterest and I thought it was very oddly shaped, but it looked pretty cool. So, I did my best to recreate it. I actually enjoyed this build a lot, and I think because it was in a style that I very much would do, which pretty much means that the house is going to be black. I love black, and if I could do like a very like dark themed home with a couple different like color pops, that would be fantastic. So super enjoyed this build because it was, I don't know, I feel like it's a lot easier to do a build when you actually enjoy the, I guess, the themes that are going on, or at least the color scheme, and I really did enjoy this. um it was a little bit difficult because in the original pictures it's very open, and I mean there's a crap ton of windows everywhere. So coming up with like where to position the bathroom and how to place the bedrooms, that was also pretty difficult. Um, but I guess it is relatively small, but not really. It's kind of hard to explain. I tried to make it so that like the outside was really spacious, and the whole point of this is that you want to go outside. You don't want to be inside. So this is going to be a multi-part video, like this or build, because this took me a while. Like I want to say this took me like maybe 4 hours to build. I would say, give or take. Um Given I did take breaks, like a couple breaks here and there because I was starting to like lose some motivation, but I did finish it all, and I would say it did take me about 4 hours. So it took me, that's a lot of time to spend on a build. Um but either way, I think the hardest part was just that I had to like match it, as opposed to it being like completely freehand. Usually freehand builds, whatever is just off the top of my head, tend to be a lot easier because I just kind of do what I want, and I don't know, it just feels like it's a lot smoother. But this one I was trying to match. Now I couldn't see the inside of the house, so I had to completely guess. I couldn't really see the back of the build. um like you kind of can, but not really. So I kind of also had to guess, but I think what I did turned out pretty well. Um, and I did spend some like I spent a good bit of time trying to make sure that this house was really nice. And if I could live in this house, I definitely would. But I probably would add like a second container. Also, ignore this little jump cut here. I was trying to see if I could do something with these to, because like the original build has like lines across the window, but I couldn't really recreate it with what I had. If I had the tool mod installed, definitely I could have done it, but I don't have the tool mod, so I'm not going to download it just to do this. So I ended up just deleting it, and the rest of the stuff that's there, it's just because I was going through buy mode, and I just saw like, oh, okay, like I'm going to use this later, so why not just keep it out now? So that's why you see kind of that mess of items just over there on the side. So it'll get moved and it'll get used eventually. But, whatever. I do end up doing something completely different with this. I think I skip over it because it was a lot. Like, I end up just changing out the shrubs and doing just like a whole bunch of like flowers and cactus or cacti. I think it's cacti, but I do all of that on the side there, and then I realize that I don't like it, so I move it all to the front, and I think I skip over it. But I realized that I have no idea what type of trees grow in like the desert. So I was kind of trying to look around to see like if I could match the trees. But it almost didn't really make too much sense. So I don't know. I just did, I did the best that I could do. So I played around with what I could. And I'm going to say I put a really big tree here. Like it's the same tree in the front, but I size it up. And that tree gets really annoying because it's in the way a lot. So I wouldn't like if I do ever play with this house, I'm definitely going to just delete it. Also, don't know why that that little skip there was so laggy. I probably should fix it, but will I? No. But you get the point. I skipped that entire thing because it was all on that side and then I just moved it to the front. I think it looks way better in the front than it did on the side because you can at least see it. When it was on the side, it kind of just looked like one big mess. I didn't want it I didn't want this to be too uniform. I kind of wanted it to be messy. Like they didn't grow those, that just it's naturally growing on its own. That was kind of the idea that I was going for. I do wish that I had put this on a smaller lot, given this isn't a very big lot. I forgot what lot it was, what the size was, but I think that it would have been a lot easier if I had a little bit of a smaller lot. I always say this, but big builds are not it for me. I kind of panic when there's so much space, but I guess in reality, like, I love open space. Like, I would rather just it be completely open and not have to deal with all of this. But in The Sims, when you have a bunch of open space, it just doesn't look right. Like, I guess it just feels empty. I don't know if I'm the only person who thinks like that, but I do. So, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not sure how many parts this is going to take. It's either going to take 2 or 3 parts since it took me so long to build, but I really, really like it. So we'll see. I'm going to try to see how much I can cut out, but it's kind of hard to cut everything out because then what's the point, I don't know. But I like this because then you have kind of like a little shaded area to go down there and just kind of lounge about. I thought that was cute. I do add more lounge chairs, I believe, and I think I add them to the patio over there, and I think I add a dining table. I gonna be honest, I'm not 100% sure because I did do this a little bit ago. I tried to record as much, as soon as I get inspiration, I take full advantage of it and I go and I do, and I just record or whatever, and then I come back later. So I don't always 100% remember what I did. I was gonna say that those sliding doors fit perfect on this build. I mean, perfect, because there are sliding doors in real life. I do want to say I almost forgot to add stairs. I don't know what it is about me and staircases, but I did almost forget to add them. But I did manage to fit them, which was nice because I almost was oh, I might have to do a ladder, but I didn't. So that was also good. I don't know if I've said this before, but my dream home would definitely be to convert container homes, and have a very modern styled home like this, definitely off the grid. That would be really, really cool. But land is pretty expensive over here, especially where I live. I mean, you're lucky if you find an acre of land that's less than $100,000. I would say on average, it's about maybe 200 or more, at least from what I've seen, but that could just be the area that I live in. So I don't know. I definitely don't see me having being able to build a house on private land anytime soon. Oh, sorry, I forgot that I had my alarm going off. So I am currently trying to make cake pops, and that is the timer for the cake. So my bad. I'm gonna come back in a second. Okay, so that was quick, I know, for you guys, but not for me. Anyways, so my cake is ready, which means that I just have to let it cool off, and then I can start making the cake pop part, which is relatively easy. But yeah, I've said this before that I absolutely love, or at least I enjoy baking, and I'm trying to kind of do other things besides just making cakes, and I've never made cake pops, but I've heard that they're relatively easy to do, so I'm gonna try them myself. Hopefully they're good. I'll let you know if it turns out all right, but I definitely feel like I'm doing a lot. I'm getting it done. So I'm baking. Trust me, I've had this stuff to make the cake pops for 3 weeks now. I've just been procrastinating actually getting it done, but I'm doing that, and I'm knocking out all these videos because I've actually been editing I don't know, I would say like all day today. I still have a lot of other stuff to do. I'm actually in the process of also moving, given I'm not moving until, I don't know, I think May is my move out day, but I'm OCD, so I'm already organizing. I'm organizing all of my stuff. I'm decluttering. I hate clutter because it makes me incredibly anxious. Well, more anxious than I already am on a daily basis. So I'm trying to declutter and pack, that way when May comes, I don't have to do too much. Like, I'm obviously leaving out all of the things that I use every day, but the things that I don't use every day, it's all pretty much packed up. So I'm ready to go. I have like the bathroom left, and then I have to reorganize my bedroom, but everything else is done, which the kitchen and the living room were the hardest, I would say, but you know, it's not too bad. So I'm really proud of myself getting shit done. So anyways, I do like this idea here of, I think I put, like, it was a fire pit. Yeah. It was a fire pit. I really like the idea of just kind of keeping it a little bit separate. I do close it off, not close it off. What's the word that I'm looking for? Like, I put like a roof over it. That way, it's a little bit more secluded. So like if it was raining, or if it's like really hot outside, you can still be under there and just kind of like hang out with your friends. Like this, I don't know, I just really enjoyed this entire build altogether. I really struggled with the solar panels there. I couldn't decide on how many I wanted, and I didn't really like the look of too many, so I think I just did, I did just go with 3, which isn't too bad. So it's kind of like, realistically, I know that is not anywhere near enough for how much you actually need for the house, but still, I did it, so it's fine. Anyways, I can smell that cake from here, and it smells so good. It's in the fridge right now, but obviously, like, when you bake a cake or when you bake or cook anything, your whole house pretty much just smells like it, and that's kind of what's happening now. So all I want to do is eat it, but I can't. It makes me super sad, but eventually. So I think it has to cool for like 30 minutes or something, just because you don't want to try to make cake pops while the cake is still hot. That's kind of a no-no. So I would say how do I say this? Like, when I said that the lot was too big, this is kind of what I meant. So in reality, everything kind of seems like it's a little bit cramped, but that's because I tried to fill the space, and that was the issue. I feel like if there's too much space, then there's like the need, maybe it's just me, but there's just like this need that I'm like, I have to fill it because it's weird, because it's all just like, I don't know, it was just weird to me to have like that open gap. I mean, I was thinking maybe I could have added like a jungle gym there. The idea behind this house is that it is for 1 or 2 Sims, as in like parents, and then a child. Now there is room for you to add a second kid, so you could definitely have maybe 2 kids or maybe 2 teens, because I use a bunk bed, but I used the bunk bed because I wanted more space. So like I put the dresser underneath the bed, but you can always just go with a skinny dresser, put it somewhere else, and then go with like a second kid. So like you could have twins or a child and a teen, but I don't know if you'd want to have a child and a teen sharing a bedroom, because I know I wouldn't. At least, that's just me. I'm so sorry to anybody who's had to do that. That just feels like a huge privacy violation. But you see that tree getting in the way? Every time I try to like move over there, the tree's just like right there. I should have just taken it off and then put it back when I was done like messing around, but I didn't. I like the little plant. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak today. Or maybe I'm just going a mile a minute, which I probably am, so I'm sorry. I just kind of spew out whatever my brain is saying. But I was originally gonna put a bunch of like plants on there myself, but I decided that I would just leave it there so that maybe that'll be a nice spot to garden. Now originally I had put other things in this little corner there. Did not like how it looked, so I completely cut it out because it was just a huge waste of my time. And then I just ended up putting a little spot there for your kid to play. I do eventually delete that as well, and I think I put a bar there, or maybe not, I don't know. But anyways, we're pretty much coming to the end of the build, or not the end of the build, but the end of this part. I'm gonna obviously post the rest, so stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed it so far, because I really am proud of this build, so please walk on with it. Thanks guys.